If you want to know if it's cheaper for you to get your mortgage from a local mortgage banker or a big bank, stick around and find out. And oh, by the way, I'm Phoenix real estate agent John Cunningham with eXp Realty. And to find the home that you've been dreaming of, let's do your research, get rid of the noise, and find your neighborhood. Do that by subscribing. And to get thousands back on your home purchase, check out my cashback plan at getmovingkit.com. Link in the description. Okay, Tom, so what sets you apart from the big banks?
The one huge benefit, John, that we have that we can provide that somebody going to one of those big retail boxes can't is that when you go into one of them, you're only getting their rate. They're not shopping around to go anywhere else. Whereas we take a profile for a client and we go to hundreds of banks to figure out where do we find the best rate, the best deal for them, and then we take that loan to that bank. I think when you look at walking into any big bank and getting a retail rate and where we are on a wholesale rate, you'll find a quarter to a half a point difference that we're going to be better.
All right, Tom, a half a point doesn't sound like much. It sounds really tiny, but I know and you know it adds up to a lot. On a $400,000 purchase in today's interest rates, the difference is about $115 a month in your payment. And over the course of 30 years, that adds up to over 40,000 big ones. But hey, they probably make it easier, right?
I think you'd find ours is more streamlined, actually. We do most of our stuff electronically. We can close loans in 2 to 3 weeks. You'll find the big banks, just because it's a bureaucratic process, it gets handed off from person to person to person, that they are closer to 4 to 6 weeks to close.
And you know, one of the things that I love about sending my clients to Marketline Mortgage is they get to work with you directly.
Yeah, at the big banks, you could go from a processor to an underwriter to a doc department to funding, and maybe even a loan officer in the midst there. Whereas when you come here, you get to deal with the owner of the company, and between myself and Annie, we will handle everything from start to finish.
And Tom, what about those online companies that run their business from a rocket ship in outer space? You know who I'm talking about.
I think you find that we compete, number one, on service, and number two, on rate. And specifically where the client drives to is rate. And that is because as you realize, take that company as an example, they've got a huge operation, they've got a lot of buildings, they've got a lot of overhead. When you look at somebody like us, where we're a family run business, where we don't have all of those other layers that we have to pay as we go through the process, we always compete with those guys.
And you know, Tom, sometimes I think people are just attracted to the anonymity of an online application. You know, they don't actually have to talk to somebody.
So I think it's always, my first thought is that they feel like we're associated with the bank, so they don't want to talk to us or tell us something maybe about their situation. So I think that initial phone call is important to build a little bit of trust and for them to understand that we're on their team, not working against them.
But if someone did, if they just wanted to apply online, is that cool?
We've set our system up to where we could work with anybody either electronically or over the phone. I just think you have a better interaction over the phone. I think you get to answer more questions over the phone. And I think when you walk away, you become more knowledgeable about the process over the phone, which I think that's the important piece, especially for somebody going through it for the first time. If you're thinking about buying a home or building one from scratch, check out our other 2 videos. I'll see you there.